Welcome back to the Yoga Habit Challenge. Today is another practice of pranayama and meditation, so you can find your way to your comfortable cross-legged seated position, or you could always be sitting in a chair for these practices as long as your spine is nice and tall. And just take a moment to connect to your breath. This step we sometimes call breath awareness, where you're just becoming aware of the current sensations that are present within your breath. As you do that, you'll notice that something happens called pratyahara, where when the mind is typically on all of these outside sensations, the sounds, the feelings, anything that can grab your attention, now instead we withdraw the senses by bringing them inwards. And we'll start by bringing them in just to the breath, in and out through the nose. Now we'll take a hand position called Brahma Mudra. And what that looks like is we'll tuck our thumbs into the palms of the hands and wrap the forefingers around them, and then bring the lowest knuckles towards each other. So those bottom segments of your fingers are going to be pressed against one another, and we'll hold it just about at the level of our solar plexus, at the level of your lower ribs here. Shoulders are rolled open. Now we're going to work with the mantra Om today. Some of you may have heard that Om is actually A-U-M. It's these three parts, Aum, Aum. It's a sound that travels from the back of the throat all the way to the lips. And it's said to be this all-encompassing sound, the sound of the universe. One story about this Om sound has to do with the creation of the universe. And Brahma, the god who is said to be the creator, is the one who this mudra is named after. So it's said that he created the universe, and one story has Brahma sitting on a lotus flower that arises from the sea of possibility. And if you see pictures of Brahma, you'll see that he typically has 4 heads, one in each of the 4 cardinal directions. And the story has it that Brahma rose up on this lotus flower out of the sea of possibility, and he sprouted his classic 4 heads, one in each of the 4 cardinal directions. And the first said, ah. The second said, ooh, the third said, and the fourth kept the lips closed, and in that silence reverberated the Om sound. And the vibrations of that Om churned up the sea of possibility, and from that sea, from that cosmic sea, rose the entire universe as we know it. So this is why Om is said to be the primordial sound that connects us all, because we all come from the vibrations of that Om. Now, these stories of the deities do not require absolute faith. It's interesting to see how they're reflected in nature phenomena. For example, the Big Bang theory was recently studied, that the reverberating sound of the Big Bang through the vacuum of space would have sounded like a resonant hum, similar to an Om. So no matter whether you're interested more in the physical or the metaphysical aspects of these practices, they have the physiological ability to alter our moods and work with our nervous system. So similar to how our humming bee breath allowed us to drop into our parasympathetic nervous system, our body's resting response, so too does Oming, just chanting the sound Om. It elongates the exhales and it adds that peaceful vibration. So, Brahma Mudra, hands in front of the chest, roll your shoulders back, lift your heart. And with the connection to the entire universe happening here, breathe in through your nose. And find the 3 parts of that sound with your exhale. Aum. Inhale. Again. Last time. Release your hands down to your knees, observing any energy in the body. Noticing if the lines that separate the boundary of your body and the world beyond it seem a little blurred from those vibrations. Where do you stop and the universe begins? Perhaps you find that boundary doesn't actually exist. You're invited now to bring your attention back into your physical form, to feel the parts of your body in contact with the earth, the parts of your body that are breathing, to notice the sounds that are present in the room with you here, and then gently to open your eyes to come back to the here and now. I always find that Om sound makes us feel so connected, and if you practice Om in a room with others, that you have no idea where your Om starts and someone else's begins. So when it's the sound of connection, it's the sound of us all coming from that same source. We're all one and the same. Thank you so much for joining me for that practice today, and I'll see you on your mat again tomorrow. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.